Hello everybody and welcome back to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Noki and you're here once again for another edition of the news with Noki. Today we have some really crazy news to break down, everything from Pokemon to Marvel, Star Wars to Sony. However, before we do that, I would like to take the time to break down all of the things that I have coming this week on my channel. Starting with tonight, where you can catch my family live once again for our Sunday Funday. This is a stream that we do every single Sunday where we draw from all of our Nintendo games randomly from our Pikachu hat and play them live on stream for you. If you have any of the games that we play along with and it allows for multiplayer functionality, then you're welcome to join in on the fun as well. So make sure you hop back to this channel at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight to join us live. And then tomorrow at 1 p.m. you'll be able to find me live once again for my Minecraft Monday stream, where I'll be picking up the blocks once again where I left off from last week and seeing where my creation can take me. Tuesday on Noki Jr., I hope you'll all enjoy my next installment of my favorite aspects of the Pokemon world, where I'll be breaking down my top 4 favorite gym masters of the Galar region. Then on Wednesday, you'll be able to join my family live once again at 7 p.m. Central Time for some more Max Raid battles. And following that up on Thursday, you'll be able to join me live at 1 p.m. for my midweek discussion and Let's Play, where I'll be going back into Pokemon Sword and continuing along in my journey to complete the Pokédex, while also discussing many of the topics that arise during the week regarding Pokemon. And then again on Friday, I'll be going back into Pokemon Sword to continue along on my task. Finally on Saturday, my family is very excited to be bringing you all another dice battle, where we'll be taking on another Dynamax Pokemon. And then don't forget, on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, you can find my family live once again for even more Max Raid battles. And now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump right into the news. Kicking things off today, of course, with Pokemon, where there are a couple of stories that I actually went over in this past week's midweek discussion live. Starting with the fact that the events that are currently going on for Max Raid battles will be coming to a close here in the coming days and weeks. This of course includes the current Gigantamax Alcremie raids, which will end as of January 31st, and the Gigantamax Colossal, Lapras, Flapple, and Appleton raids, which will continue until February 7th. And as of right now, the Pokemon Company has yet to unveil as to whether there will be any form of follow-up event once these draw to a close. Next, we have a story that really shocked a lot of people, including myself, which is that the Pokemon TCG will be removing all Fairy-type Pokemon going forward for all of their future packs. This doesn't of course mean that Fairy-type Pokemon are entirely leaving the TCG, but rather that they'll be joining the grouping of other Pokemon like Psychic and Ghost. And as part of this reclassification, they have also announced that they'll be moving Poison-type Pokemon over to the Darkness typing as well. Now, obviously, many players and collectors had some very mixed feelings about this announcement, so I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. As for another announcement we received from the Pokemon Company this past week, one that's a little bit more exciting, we now know that the Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution movie, the remake of the original first movie, will be debuting on Netflix on February 27th. And I, for one, am extremely excited to check out this remake of the classic tale of Ash's journey to stop Mewtwo from destroying the world. In the last bit of news about Pokemon, before we move into a bit more speculation and rumor, we found out that the Pokemon Global Link will be shutting down this year entirely, ending all online shenanigans for the Pokemon Sun and Moon era. I, for one, never really got into the online competitive scene when it came to Generation 7, so this doesn't really make me as sad as I'm sure it does a lot of other players, especially those who really didn't take too kindly to Pokemon Sword and Shield. However, this is pretty par for the course when it comes to the Pokemon Company shutting down the older servers to make room for the newer ones. And now for some very juicy speculation that has seeped out regarding some trademarks that were filed, including the likes of Pokepark, which was actually a Generation 4 side game that many fans absolutely adored. I personally never got the opportunity to play Pokepark, but from what I've seen, it looks like it would have been a very enjoyable experience back in that generation. And I'm very curious to see where they plan to take this series moving forward, and if it has anything at all to do with the upcoming release of Pokemon Home. Along with that, there was also a very interesting name that was trademarked called Birdex, which many people have been speculating probably has some form of relation to the legendary Pokemon from the upcoming expansion of Crown Tundra, Calyrex. Though, of course, with any speculation or rumor, only time will tell as to what the validity of these truly are and what we're actually going to see from Pokemon moving forward. And finally for Pokemon today, I wanted to give a special shout out to absolutely everybody that participated in Birdkeeper Toby's Wants to Battle 2020 Tag Video Challenge. I watched through absolutely everybody's videos, and it was so amazing to see the diversity behind all the various channels that follow Birdkeeper Toby or have friends who are friends of Birdkeeper Toby's. Not to mention, it was very inspiring to see so many different content creators who were just starting out, working so hard to build a platform here on YouTube. Personally, I found so many new channels to subscribe to, and I'm very excited to see each and every one of them grow and develop as time goes on. Starting off with a story that I'm sure many of you have actually probably heard by now, which is that Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, had a personal meeting with Patrick Stewart, who once played the great Professor Xavier in all of the live-action X-Men movies. Which of course ignited so many rumors of a possible crossover of Professor X returning to the screen in the MCU. However, it is very important to note that Patrick Stewart himself was quoted saying that it would take an awful lot for him to return to that character, as he feels like it really got the justice it deserved and that character has been put to rest entirely. However, he has recently returned to the character of Captain Picard in Star Trek, so who knows? I mean, at this point, anything could really happen. And when you consider the most recent return of a character from an entirely another franchise altogether, looking at you, Jonah Jameson, it definitely leaves open a lot of possibilities as to where the MCU could be headed moving forward, especially with the multiverse of madness right around the corner. And speaking of where things could be headed, there seems to be a lot of referencing going on lately that the upcoming Spider-Man movie could include the Sinister Six, including the Vulture being in the Morbius trailer, Spider-Man himself being in the Morbius trailer with Murderer written across, and now some eagle-eyed fans have even pointed out the word Kraven across a truck in the trailer as well. And wrapping things up for Marvel today, there was some leaked set photos that came out from the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus series that will be debuting later this year. In these photos, we can see another character dressed up very similarly to Captain America, which many people have been speculating is most likely US Agent from the comics, who in those comics was known as a bit of an imposter of sorts of Captain America, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he ends up with the Captain Shield to begin with. Moving right along, we have Star Wars, where recent reports have been swirling that the upcoming Disney Plus series for Obi-Wan Kenobi is possibly delayed indefinitely. Even though Ewan McGregor himself, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, has since come out and stated that everything is seemingly right on track to be released when it was originally slated to. On top of that, there have been a number of rumors coming out regarding Star Wars as well, including the fact that George Lucas could be coming back to direct another movie. However, considering the fact that he already worked on some of the sequel trilogies, and most of his work was completely removed from the films altogether, I don't exactly see this one as being very possible. However, I guess we'll see. Though, there is a lot more potential for another rumor that's been cropping up lately, which is that we very well could be seeing a sequel to the Knights of the Old Republic, with many insiders stating that this game's entire purpose is to bring new canon into the fold of the universe, and will play off of the popularity of the recently released Jedi Fallen Order game. And it's almost painful to mention that it will be developed by EA, so hopefully we don't see too many microtransactions built into it. And finally for today, we have some very exciting news regarding the Sony PlayStation 5, which many sources have been speculating will most likely be revealed in some capacity this upcoming month. I'm sure by now, many of you have already seen the concept designs for the actual console itself, However, there have been other specs that have come out since then that have leaked that purport this system to be a pretty amazing console overall. With what we know of the upcoming Xbox X series that will be debuting this upcoming winter season, this is definitely heating up the console war more than ever. I truly hope you enjoyed my breakdown of all of the news that interested me this past week. If you did, I would love to hear in the comments down below what your favorite story of the day was. Also, if you would like to support my growing channel, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel in order to stay up to date on all of my daily content. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Professor Noki signing out once again for Noki Talks.